Now it's nice to get an environment that's all fleshed out and nice, right? Like you have on Microtech, but something a little bit more, low tech, low key, like Levski. It's gonna be a favorite for a lot of people. Anyway, right after Nyx, we're gonna have another star system, and that other star system is going to be the Castra system. I did not see that coming, quite frankly. And a lot of people did mention the Castra system in the chat and in the comment section over the past couple of months. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's going to be easy to make, but come on, people want to see Terra, right? You guys were right, and kudos to you guys. It makes sense, after all. It is indeed connected to Nyx and Pyro, I believe. So it makes sense to have the Castra system. It's going to be a nice little loop between all of these systems. I get it, right? And the landing zone there is quite impressive, right? Sherman. So we're going to have a look at that as well. Now, if you guys don't know what Castra is a kind of terrestrial planet, right? Similar to Earth. It is a terrestrial planet, but in terms of biomes, it's going to be something that's going to be looking more like Earth compared to Microtech, right? Microtech, sure, it got some similarities with Earth, with the tundras and the pine tree forest, right? But Castra is going to take it to the next level. It's going to have redwood forest, right? Some extra biomes. I believe that some of the other biomes that we saw earlier will be there as well. I hope that they're going to be taking their time with Terra. I believe that they've already started Terra, Parker. I think that they already have. I think that they were not ready to show us yet because the landing zone is really crazy there. We're going to talk about Terra probably in another live stream, I suppose, because today we've got a lot to talk about today. But I believe that we are getting one step closer to Terra already with the Castra systems. Let's have a look here. First, different kind of music. Different vibes, lots of mountains, very mountainous terrain here on Castra with a lot of these clouds. Now, they were telling us that some of the areas that we are going to be seeing in the future will be forever in this kind of bad weather fronts. And it made sense. You know, if there's like a place that's deep inside a valley between mountains like that, it's always going to have clouds like that. It's always going to have some kind of rainy weather, and it's going to be super difficult to go there with a ground vehicle. So I get it. I understand. I think that's awesome. Zero says you missed Levski for years, but when I was there, you drive the PTV there with personal hangars. It was yeah, right, exactly. It was really fun to go there with the PTV. People were doing races as well. Totally different vibes here as well on Castra. And it seems like they are also making an effort to have mountains that are a little bit higher. And one of the things that I noticed in Star Citizen is the mountains don't have a very high altitude, but it seems that on Castra they are getting a little bit higher. Which makes sense because Sherman is supposed to be at the peak of the highest mountain of the planet. There we go. There it is. There you get to see Sherman right there. By the way, speaking of the music, people on Spectrum who are fluent in Xi'an language, yes, they are people who speak Xi'an language. I've learned it. Apparently, and that's a rumor, it needs to be confirmed, but it seems like the song that we are hearing, the theme, is sung in Xi'an language. If that really is the case, then that's awesome. And it makes sense because we are at the edge of Xi'an space. And Xi'ans could also be making, you know, appearances in the Castra system since we're so close to them. Now it's at peace. We're at peace with the Xi'ans. We're trading. We're having interaction with them, cooperation with the Xi'ans. Maybe fighting the Vandals together with the Xi'ans. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get to see them here in the Castra system. And it's gonna be raining a lot there because they got so much of those clouds This is so cool. We are going to be seeing some of the weather fronts here for sure, man. See you, Zeo Crusher. Thank you so much for coming today. Now what we are seeing here is pre-production, right? So it's not even white box. So they're probably showing us here the geometry that we're working on, but it's probably not final either. But considering how quickly the teams are working all together, did you see how quickly the Montreal team redid Lorville? That's why I wouldn't be surprised if we get to see Castra within the next 12 months. Probably SeasonCon 2025. We'll get to visit Castra, and they will be showing us Terra in pre-production, just like they're showing us Castra in pre-production right now. Yes, Parker. It's definitely a new architectural style. It kind of reminds me of a brutalist type of style, right? Since these used to be military. So it's all, these are, straight lines, no details, very militaristic and utilitarian, very, aggressive as well. I would love it if these could be some of the hubs where, we could live in there. If one day we can go inside those buildings, this would be phenomenal. I love that they have roads. Guys, look, roads with NPC traffic. This would be great if there was actual NPC traffic, doing stuff or just driving around, and we're just driving our vehicles around them. That would be phenomenal, right? Yeah, Parker. I think that they are building Castra, so that then they're using the tech that they're using for building Castra for Terra. Absolutely. But plus on Terra, they are going to have those big mountains as well. All the weather that you're going to see here, it will be on Terra too. The redwood forest will be on Terra as well, but they're going to have jungles and swamps too. Oh man, I cannot wait for those roads. Especially, it's going to be nice to have roads for ground vehicles to drive on and just do stuff. I would love to use those roads just to go from one place to another, deliver some packages, do maintenance, and use a ground vehicle to do that. And look at the size of that thing, right? Again, another place that dwarfs some of the biggest capital ships that we have. This used to be the military base. These are going to be the hangars, obviously. And I love to see those little ships here just being dwarfed by the immensity of the landing zone. Same Dynas. We'll talk about bases later, but that's definitely something that we'll be doing at the Rad Club. I'm looking forward to seeing DG's base as well. We'll probably build our base right next to DG's. So yeah, and then you can see some of the skyscrapers there. This like central business district between those two mountains, and it's like dwarf. That's how massive this is. Like a landing zone. That's the size of Hurston of Lorville, but on the top of a mountain. That's absolutely insane. And we got to see the Polaris again. Now this is the only landing zone that we're going to be seeing in the Castra system. We don't know the level of security of the Castra system. I would assume that Castra is going to be high security because it's at the frontier with the Xi'ans, right? So probably you would expect the UEE to avoid having Xi'ans, smuggling or illegally settling on the planet. So that's why I would expect this to be a medium like Stanton or high security system like Terra.